Hello everyone, welcome to Criccentricview. This is Praneeth and we have Sharvanan with us. So we will be talking about the India USA game. India has finally gone to Super 8, so that's kind of a good news for Indian fans. And we will talk about other aspects as well, like the finally getting over with the New York pitch. That's also one good thing from
Good.
batters' point of view. And then we can talk about what uh, the way forward for the Indian team. And the last thing we can discuss is about this Josh Hazelwood statement about the England team. So let's start with India USA win. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, ultimately we got, and I would say USA gave a tough fight.
Yeah,
Um, the way they were playing, I think it was brilliant. And yeah, at one point of time, I thought that USA would post a total more than 120 because the way they faced their innings was tremendous. They started the power play very slowly, 18 for 2. Then at the end of 10 overs, they were 42 for 3. But after the 10 over mark, I think they upped the ante really well, especially Nitish Kumar and the
Corey
way the
Anderson.
US batters Corey Anderson played really well. And it was quite evident because see, Jasprit Bumrah has gone for 11 runs in 16th over. Uh, that was a rare set because he gave in his full quota of 4 overs, he just gave 14 runs against Pakistan. But against USA, he gave 11 in an over. So I thought the game was kind of drifting away from India because they had the game within the reach. But somehow Arshdeep Singh and Hardik Pandya was bowling tremendously this edition. And more than his batting, I think he's giving answers with his bowling actually.
True, and also like even USA bowling, they were really up there. I think in the 16th over, all the see the thing is when you say about experienced teams, right? They hold their nerves till the end moment, right? Even if you see Indian team, all the games against in the New York, they held their nerve, and same goes for South Africa. Like they had a bad scare at versus Netherlands, but David Miller ensured that he would play in a calm way. He never panicked. So I think that was the key for all the matches in New York. Because see, if you see Bangladesh, they botched up the chase because they panicked. Same goes for Pakistan, right? And uh, less experienced teams like USA, they had a drop catch of Surya Kumar Yadav, which kind of proved costly, and those 5 penalty runs that changed the equation from uh, seven runs per over to 6 runs per over in just a
A
moment,
matter of
right?
time. Yes.
So I think that's where the match turned overall for India, right?
Yeah, also if you are winning, I think that gives you tremendous confidence. When you are losing and when you are on the bad side of the game, I think it will be really affecting you a lot. That's what
Yeah,
happened to Pakistan. More than I think they were not calm, they were not winning actually in the recent past. And
right.
same goes with Bangladesh because how many games that Bangladesh have won since they are playing almost every editions of World Cup. Unlike West Indies even missed a berth in World Cups in the past World Cups, but still Bangladesh is playing all the editions of the World Cup, but and still they are not winning that much. I think that plays in their mind. They had the game within their reach against South Africa. It was their game to lose, like Pakistan, and that's what happened eventually. So I think winning gives you a belief, and the losing will be creating more and more doubts in yourself.
True, yeah. And what do you think? Like, is there any, like, even though people say that yesterday's game, India didn't win it convincingly, I would say, uh, I would look at as a positive for India, because the thing is, every time what happens is India wins it so convincingly that middle order doesn't get much of a chance to prove themselves. And yesterday, those two players who we were doubting, like Surya Kumar Yadav, is not in a good nick uh, because of the pitch, whatever you say. And Shivam Dubey, everyone has figured out his weak point, and uh, they're not they're not doing anything else. So from there, the way Surya Kumar Yadav and Shivam Dubey finished the match without giving the wicket, that was really good, and it would help a lot for lot for their confidence when they go to West Indies when the wickets are a bit better, right?
Yeah, eventually these expectations from the people and fans, I think it's growing up really huge. See, not every game that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are going to give you that banger starts and they're going to finish the game within 10, 12 overs. So these things are bound to happen actually. And I would say India did win convincingly because there was no panic at all in the chase.
Mm-hmm.
Even at one point of time, the required rate was around seven. So,
Seven and a half, seven and a
but
half
still,
feet,
they,
right?
yeah, but still they are looking very confident, and there was no dropping of shoulders or any kind of that. Okay, this is going out of reach because they have seen the games.
Mhm.
Eventually, India was also in that position against Pakistan. Pakistan was cruising along at one point of time, and they started suddenly losing wickets, and they just blocked everything. But the way Surya Kumar Yadav and Dubey played, that too coming off from back-to-back failures, and also the recent past is not the form is not that much good, and they have lost the two run scorers for India. Rishabh Pant and Rohit Sharma was getting out pretty early, and the way I think they handled the situation really well, and getting half centuries another. See, whatever the pitch or whoever the opposition is runs, and spending
Mhm.
time in the middle will help you. And being on the said that it is a tough pitch, and the way they handled and they nurtured, I think it was very good. They adapted really well yesterday.
Mhm.
Okay, they took some time also because Dubey and Surya did play
I mean,
their
that was the
very
need of the
unlike.
hour, right? That was the
Yeah,
need of the hour taking time, right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They adapted really well.
Mm-hmm.
They forgot themselves. Like I am not the Surya who plays in Mumbai pitch, or I am not the Shivam Dubey who hit sixes for fun in IPL.
Right, yeah.
It's not a kind of a day, or it's not a kind of pitch that I can express myself very well. So I'm going to play it subtle, very subtle, and I need some runs, and I'm going to spend some time in the middle, and I'm not going to gift my wicket. I think that was the attitude yesterday from these two batters.
Exactly,
uh,
and it was good to
so
see. Yeah.
yeah, that was very pleasing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right, right. And surprisingly, the way US bowlers bowled, that Ali Khan wicket to Rishabh Pant, the ball just skidded, and I'm like, wow. So,
yeah, I think Ali Khan is
they,
always impressing
yeah.
you, right? Even against the game against Pakistan, he was 1 point of difference because he got Pakazaman's wicket. Then
Mm-hmm.
Pakazaman wanted to swing everything, and he's getting some runs also at that point. But the way this guy bowled, I think really well. So they had a very solid team actually. Uh,
Right, right, yeah.
they have every bases covered. All they need is some experience in this game of cricket, and I think they can come good like Afghanistan. Like Afghanistan came like this only. Suddenly they
Right.
just played too many matches and they gained some experience, and now they are being like now they are not underdogs anymore. I would say for sure
I mean,
because they are.
yeah, you can put them in one of those. You could put India in the 90s or early 2000s. That category you can put Afghanistan in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they
So,
are improving a lot actually. From each and
yeah,
every tournament they are playing, they are improving.
right.
So I would say USA can be such a force in the future.
Exactly. And it's good to have teams like these emerging in cricket because you don't want a World Cup or a Champions Trophy between 7, 8 teams, and you are just saying that it's a World Cup,
It's
right?
not even 7, 8 teams nowadays. It's just four or five teams actually,
Four or
and
five
one
teams
team is
competing. Yeah.
yeah, and one team is out of the race now. New Zealand is gone.
Yeah.
So the one big guy is already back to the country. So I think that's where these countries should play, and they should play. What do you say? They should play consistently.
Right.
So that's make them better. This way.
True. True. Yeah. And what do you think about you know like Pakistan's chances are? I have
I won't say it is slim, but USA are the front runners because they have a game against
Yeah.
Ireland. So
They have a game.
I
Both
would
have game against Ireland, but uh, Pakistan's run rate has gotten better because of the USA's loss. So Pakistan doesn't have to worry about the net run rate issue right now. So that's one thing. But I think USA is good enough team to beat Ireland. So I'm so that should be uh, I mean, it's advantage USA at this point in time, right?
Yeah, they just want to win the game. That's it. So I
That's it.
think that will be the only ask from USA, and I think they can do that. So I
True,
don't
true.
see any hiccups at least. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but Pakistan will really hope that Ireland can beat USA and they could have a crack on the Super 8 again. Yes.
True, true. So, what do you think about this New York pitch? Like the way all the games have happened, did you enjoy it, or you were like there are some issues and all those things? Do you feel
Honestly,
that
I enjoyed it.
you
I
enjoyed
enjoyed
it?
after this over dramatic Indian pitches, the IPL were happened, and
Right.
the scores like 220 was the teams were scoring for fun. It's
Right.
not a difficult task anymore. Like I
Mm.
came up from a generation that if we score 140, 150, and you're safe. You
Right.
can have at least a chance to fight on. But this IPL edition, especially this year, I think it was a joke actually. The batters are just staying in their crease without any foot movement. There was
Mm.
no bad batsmanship at all. Like there is no application or there is no any technique.
True.
It was fun actually. Initially, it was fun. Like when Fraser McGurk was starting to hit the ball, Abhishek Sharma, Travis said everybody, but still Abhishek Sharma at least came down the track, or he's using his feet, or he's shuffling across the crease. Something he was doing, but most of the players like they are just like a baseball hitters, and they're just
Mm.
swinging their bats for fun, and they're getting some runs. It was almost suffocating.
Right.
To the IPL phase. But when it comes to New York, I really didn't expect this much of a turnaround. Like we saw the 240s for fun, and suddenly scoring 100 is very difficult. So that changeover was initially was like, okay, this is going to be something. But after that, I really enjoyed because the bowlers had a fair bit of chance after a long time, and the
Mm.
bowlers finally enjoying something in the T20 cricket. So I think that's where this New York edition or this New York case was really interesting, and it was again it reinforced that uh, the importance of Test match cricket, and
Exactly.
the batter's technique was put on to question actually. The only thing I would say that uneven bounce, it could have been made some injuries to that might be a possibility of injuring some key players, but it was not happened, so it was all fine now.
I mean, see, the thing is, at the end, whatever may be the format, they need to show all the pitch needs to give all kinds of possibilities. Like, there should be a phase where batsmen are hitting runs for fun, and at the same time, bowlers are taking wickets and not giving runs. That is also one aspect of the game, and that should be there. But for me,
Yes.
the major concern was the outfield. Like, no
Yeah.
matter how you could do whatever with the pitch, that's okay. But the outfield should be good enough. Like, if a batter is playing a good enough shot, he should get the value for that, right? So that's where the entire concern was for the New York ground. But otherwise, it was good. And even
Yeah.
like in the later stages, the outfield was getting better and better. Maybe it's
Yeah.
about
Also there was no time actually for the groundsman to prepare, or the curators had some time.
exactly.
It was the matches were continuously playing on the same pitch, and
Hmm.
it was an hectic schedule. But okay, on outfield part, I would agree with you. It could have been a lot better because it is not even good enough for the fielders to dive into it. So I think that's where the problem of the outfield comes. But apart from outfield, I think the track was fantastic. I think it gave an opportunity to everyone. It is not like you are going if you are bowling a very good outswinger and it is taking an edge and it is flying off to a boundary or a six, it will really dishearten the bowler. But I think
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
the pitch, it gave some value to the bowlers, and it did give some value to the very good balls actually.
True, true. And see, like US also, the New York pitch was started to prepare in Feb, at the month of Feb after the end of snowfall, right? And getting it ready in 3 months, it it is like a lot
Getting
of effort
prepared
and
3 months actually. Now they're
right
going to dismantling it.
now they're dismantling it, of course, but to get it ready in 3 months and the way games have went, they did a good job and right, so there's no issue with that. But okay. So, what do you think, uh, India going forward? Do you see any changes in the batting lineup, or uh, or do you see okay, this was just a New York pitch, maybe the batting lineup was exposed, so let's not do drastic measures and keep the same thing?
Yeah, like one change I would do, bringing in Kuldeep Yadav instead of Jadeja. That's all. Apart from that, I don't tinker too much with the batting. Yes, it
Hmm.
is a tough pitch to bat on, and it is very tough to see Virat Kohli struggling at the top. But still, the others are complementing, and okay, it is just the New York pace, and let's see what happens in Florida. I think they had a very good record. They played really well. Like when we played against West Indies for two T20s, I think we did a reasonably very good job, and I see there will be change of fortunes for India and Virat Kohli also. And
Hmm.
we are getting into the knockouts right now. So I don't want to change the winning combination. Let's see what happens in Florida. And one change I would say bringing in Kuldeep for Jadeja, because Jadeja was not used as a bowler also that
Right,
much. So it's okay to make that one change, but other than that, I won't do much with the batting. Let's see what happens in Florida. Then
right.
the think tank will decide, and yeah, we'll see from there.
True, and I don't know, like somehow we we always are under the impression that Jadeja is that player and all rounder who brings that balance for India in T20 side. But somehow his records doesn't suggest that,
Speak that,
right?
speak the
Hmm?
truth. Yeah, his records doesn't speak up to that. So I I clearly believe that they could have brought in Rinku Singh instead of Jadeja in the initial squad itself. Like that could be the plan, because dropping Rinku Singh is a fatal error. But I don't understand that move actually, because Rinku was performing really well for the past 2 years after the T20 World Cup, the last edition, and dropping him for this upcoming World Cup doesn't make any sense. And see, again we have Akshar Patel. So these
Hmm.
two players are having the same profile. They literally possess everything other than the beard. I think these two are pretty similar. So maybe they could have done that. But okay, still we have this chance, and I think bringing in Kuldeep in place of Jadeja is the only change that I could see. And yeah,
Fair enough.
that will help.
I think that would happen because in New York you needed that batting depth, and you don't need too many bowlers. India were always there with seven bowling options. I'm including Shivam Dube as the seventh bowling option. So adding Kuldeep Yadav wasn't a wasn't a necessary decision, right? So it's fine to play both Jadeja and Akshar Patel in the same squad, especially in New York pitch. So that's fine. Maybe like you said, Kuldeep Yadav could come in place of Jadeja, right?
Yes.
Or if it's like if you feel that it's very spinning, uh, very conducive for spinners, and you want to go for an extra spinner, you could drop a fast bowler and get in Kuldeep Yadav. So
Yeah.
it's basically horses for courses type of a situation, right? Yeah, valid that's a valid point. And what do you think about Josh Hazelwood's statement against England?
I think it's just because the rivalry they have against England. That's all. See,
I mean,
they
that's the thing, right? Rivalry, everything is fine, but if you make like ICC has said that, right? If we feel that you have intentionally botched the match, we are going to ban the captain, right? So you don't want to get into that situation where your intents are questioned. Like, okay, let's say Scotland plays really good, and you didn't have answers to that, and you lose the game, and suddenly when people start questioning those things, like why did you do it deliberately, and it does not bode well for anyone, right?
But see, I could really accept that criticism when it comes to other teams, except Australia, because they want to win, whatever the
Ah,
situation might be, whatever the conditions. You throw them in the hell and they will play cricket. That's how
that's
they
true.
were, and they want to win. It's
Yeah,
not like that. Okay, he is my rival, and he's my enemy. I just don't want him in the edition and in the tournament, so that
yeah,
I can be happy. It's not gonna happen with them. They are what I said. They are the emperors actually.
Hmm.
It's very safe to say that they want to win this World Cups. That's all.
Yeah.
That's how they play.
see, they want to win the World Cup, and there's no doubt that we need to question their intents or whatever it is. But there are days where the results don't go according to your plan, right?
Yeah,
There could be a day where
definitely.
Scotland will win over you. So during those times, you want uh, you don't want people to start questioning your integrity. You start questioning your intent. Did you want England to get out of the stage? That's why you lost. You don't want those things, right? And even ICC coming and intervening, that's a big issue, right?
See, that's what I mentioned. If that statement comes from any other team other than Australia, I would really believe that. If the team went on to lose the game, I would really say that okay, this was intentional. But when it comes to Australia, I don't think so. See,
Okay.
that's where their game is always on.
Right, right.
Irrespective of situation, see, even in the 2019 World Cup, Australia beats England in the league phase. But in the semi-final stage, it was England who were all over Australia, and
Right.
England went on to win that World Cup again. So see, they really want to win, irrespective of the team, irrespective of the tournament they are in. Even the first edition of T20 World Cup, they lost to Zimbabwe actually. So,
Hmm.
uh, so from there they went on to win the championship in the upcoming edition. So I really don't see that it is going to happen, but it was maybe a
He
statement that
tried,
that can make England so furious. Like okay,
right.
this is what they're looking on us, and see,
The
let's see
thing
what
is,
happens.
maybe Josh Hazel would kind of put that statement as a joke,
Yeah,
but
it was a
this
joke,
kind
but
of backfired in a bad way, right?
yeah, more than a joke, I think he wants England in jeopardy. That is the main
Right,
intention,
right, yeah.
right behind it, because they're already in a bad position. One game got washed away, and
Hmm.
they were got beaten by Australia. So I think they are in a mode like okay, it's going to be a tough journey from here on. So why not just do something to make their wounds more what do you say to hurt more? I think
True,
that's
true.
what
And
this.
even last World Cup, Australia were away in the group phases itself. That too in the home World Cup, right? So
Yes.
Australia would be really determined.
That too, coming as a reigning champions, they
Yeah.
botched up everything. So
Right,
I
right.
think
Yeah.
they don't want to do anything silly at this
Hmm.
point of time.
Exactly. Yeah. So, mm, I think, uh, and according to you, like which team was a shocker that you expected that these guys will come in Super Eights, but the way they played, it looks like Super Eights are not in question right now. Like, of
New
course, it's
Zealand,
not totally eliminated, but New
New
Zealand,
Zealand.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought they'll be in top four
Hmm.
because they are perennially qualifying to the sorry knockouts actually. Whatever the
Knockouts,
World Cup, whatever the format it is, they were always on top, at least in the final four actually.
right?
That was a standard that they have made for themselves, and I could really see that they messed up really bad in the game against Afghanistan because the one quality that I would always vouch for New Zealand is their fielding. That was a
Hmm.
big letdown from them against Afghanistan, and that completely taken the chances away from them. If they have got some, or if they are held on to those chances, I think it could be a different ball game altogether. Even
Right.
against the West Indies today, I think the plans were slightly off, and suddenly Williamson went into a defensive mode because one team is trailing 36 for 5, and you are bringing in Glenn Phillips. And
Right.
I don't see that thought process behind because that's where I think that defensive mindset comes in, and it really hurts because you are completely on top 36 for 5 in 8 overs, and it's your game to take it. And they
That's the
even
thing.
got a chance like, to
See,
up
that's
the
the
run
thing.
rate.
Like when in West Indies, if your top scorer is Rutherford, who comes at number 8 or number 9, that means you really spoiled your chances in terms of bowling, right?
Yes, completely. They completely made a very big miss. And even Andre Russell was not that much among the runs. Or see, Rutherford is not a regular feature in the T20 setup for West Indies even, and
Hmm.
he is someone who's coming in and see. It was a very surprising move, bringing on Glenn Phillips that early and with half a side gone, and your run rate is very low, and you're at the last of the group. So I think it was a brilliant chance, but they messed it up really bad.
True. And even if I think Afghanistan has a better chance than New Zealand, right? Even if New Zealand wins two of their games, they have to win massively because of the net run rate dent they have, right?
But still,
So,
Afghanistan is having a very simple game because they already have some measure of West Indies. And
right, yeah.
I would say I would give that edge to Afghanistan because the way they bowled and the way their openers are playing, I think that's where the game will be of completely because this World Cup is completely like how your opener scoring runs and that's your winning chances are, and how your opening bowlers are performing and that's where your chances are going to be. So these two bets are really covered very well by Afghanistan because this guy Gurbaz is hitting runs for fun. Though he had
Hmm.
some moments, but still he was on the top run scorer. So I think that's where I think Afghanistan have a very good advantage because West Indies batting is very scratchy, but their bowling is on point. So I think Afghanistan make uh, use of that. I think they can be exploiting that. Yes.
True, true. And somehow uh, England, they didn't do much wrong. See, when you say New Zealand, they're out. They really played badly, but England, they didn't do much wrong. Honestly, maybe one decision here and there, maybe playing Chris Jordan instead of Reece Topley, who is in the best form of his life. Like team composition, you can that's debatable, but it's just that one they lost one game against Australia by some 30-40 runs, something like that, and one washout game that kind of affected them, and now their super eights are in question, right? Overall,
Yeah, it's really like a bad fate for them unless
hmm.
they played some bad cricket. I would say, yeah,
Right.
it's bound to happen. See, there are two bigger teams or stronger teams in the group, so that one match can go away. The result might go either way. But apart from that, these three games, I think every team was bound to win. And suddenly, one game was called off, and uh, the match that called off against your opponent, and they played better against all other opponents. So that's where I think the chances of England are getting a bit tricky. But still, I would say the run rate was not that much hard to catch up. It's all boils down to Scotland versus Australia. I think Scotland is playing some good cricket. It's not going to be very easy, like how it happened against India versus USA. I think that game will be another treat to watch. Uh,
True, true.
I'm just looking forward to that.
Right. And the other surprise was Pakistan. Pakistan is also not out of Super 8s, but they have to rely on other teams to get into Super 8s. So were you shocked by that, or it's just that every World Cup they are always in this situation, so nothing unpredictable about it?
Clearly, I would say from our group, I really didn't thought too much. All I want is India to be in Super 8s and in the next rounds. But USA did surprise us very well. Even against the game against Canada, I saw that game and Canada was very well in the front up until that 8 9 overs actually even around 10 overs also I think Canada was very well in the reach, but somehow Aaron James played a fantastic knock and that
Yeah.
was completely taken the game away from Canada. And the game against Pakistan, I think it was USA's game to lose because the way they bowled, the way they fielded, I think it was not like some rookie teams who are just playing the World Cup just because they are host.
Hmm.
They play some serious cricket and they do possess that serious talent and skill to be on top of any team. So I think that's where USA surprised me a lot rather than Pakistan's position. I really thought that okay, India is going to be the one side and Pakistan will be the other, but USA did spoil their chances pretty bad.
True, true. But honestly, like more than anything, Pakistan, they have to blame themselves more than anything, right?
Yeah, sure, that's right. But still, USA did play a big major part. I think
True,
to
true.
think that against India, it's okay. But against USA, the way Pakistan played, I think USA played better than
USA
Pakistan
played better.
really played poor. I don't say Pakistan really played poor, but still, USA was slightly better on that given day. That I
True.
think that they were the correct team to win.
Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. Right. Mm, anything else to add? Like, do you have anything
I
else?
think,
Nothing.
yeah.
So, okay, then we can catch up later. So, anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. So, we had really uh, fun having this chat around. So, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Like, YouTube algorithm kind of works on those criteria and it helps our channel to grow. So, thank you.